Welcome back to part two of our midweek rewind football show. In this section, we're going to talk about our fantasy football teams. But first, we're just going to talk about that England squad that's just been released because we're not too pleased about it. Me and James, anyway. So, what are we thinking? What are we thinking, lads, about this England squad?
I'll let you lead on that one, James.
I mean, I don't even know where to start, man. Yeah, well, we might as well, let's not scrub over the obvious, but Target's got to be in there for me. Got to be in there. I think I'm not saying Mings shouldn't be in there without being controversial. I just think Tarky should definitely be in there. He's been one of the best defenders this season. Even, trying not to be biased on stats wise, he's been one of the best, and he's been due a court for. He had that original one, and he's been due one since, and he's just not had it. I thought this must have been the time, but obviously not.
I'm not even going to sit on the. I'm not even going to say. I don't think he should be in at all, Mings. I mean, we've
I thought you were going to say Tarky then.
No, Mings. No, yeah. I've got to back Tarkowski, haven't we? No, but even taking our Burnley heads off.
Yeah,
he's got to be in, hasn't he? I mean, when you see his stats, like you say, he's up there with the best in this season. It's like, I can't understand it. And Mings has got him.
I definitely think he should be in over Mings. Eric Dyer in the defending section as well, because he's been playing centre back for Spurs. I mean, you're not telling me that Eric Dyer gets a place at centre back over Tarky. I don't think so.
The one thing that's bemused me is there's not left back, and that's the only reason why I can give some sort of validity and reason as to why Mings is in there. Because obviously,
unless he's playing Joe Gomez. Unless he's playing Joe Gomez left back.
Again, though, Gomez doesn't really have experience. He's right, isn't he? If he's ever played as a wing back, it's always on the right.
He did play left back though. When a couple of seasons ago, when Ben Mee injured him at Turf, he was playing left back for Liverpool then.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. I
would say even then, you're getting two left backs that are actually centre backs. You've got Gomez potentially, and like I said, Mings. Obviously, he started there as a left back with Bournemouth.
I'm surprised at Chilwell, but Chilwell's injured, isn't he, at the minute? I don't know if that's got something to do with it.
Yeah, he's got a slight injury.
Yeah, I don't think Chilwell would have been able to go through, but I mean, from what I gather, I think Shaw's back in it. Not to say that Shaw should be in, but if you're needing left backs, and he's giving, to be fair, a lot of youth. He's given a lot of youth chances. Charlie Taylor, why not? Like you say, for me, he's up there, one of the best English left backs out there. You look at Brandon Williams as well. He's had a decent season. Maybe too early for Brandon Williams. I'll give that. But Charlie Taylor, definitely. He's ahead of Danny Rose. Obviously, Danny Rose isn't in there. But if you go in, general lines of this English left back is best, second best, I'd definitely say that Charlie Taylor is minimum second.
It is surprising that he's not even named one left back or one proper left back.
It is.
We've got 100 million forwards on line-up sheet as always. But there's some good names in there as well. I think Mason Greenwood's that's a great start for him.
The main one, Calvin Phillips.
Yeah, Calvin.
Yeah,
Phillips.
Calvin
no
Phillips.
Premier League experience, just been promoted elite, and obviously there's been the little. Is he going to go England? Is he going to go Jamaica recently?
Yeah.
But he's taken advantage of that and he's given him his call up. I don't know if it's just to say that obviously he's got his cap, he can't go to Jamaica, so I'll see how he develops and then he's eligible for England.
I was going to say, I wonder if he said, look, I'll play for England, but I want you to prove to me that you're going to give me a chance.
Yeah, possibly.
I think that could have something to do with it, that Jamaica and England.
It could have easily, if it was me, if there wasn't the Jamaica aspect of it, then you'd have probably wait to see how he gets on in the Premier League.
No, definitely.
So you might be right there. He might have said, look, I either play for Jamaica or you play me now.
Yeah, I reckon there's been there's definitely been a conversation, and I think he said something along the lines of, look, I'm tempted by this Jamaica thing. Are you going to give me any sort of chance? And he sped it up. He'd probably got a call up anyway. I'm not saying he's had a good season, hasn't he?
He had a great season.
So I think eventually they got called up, but I think it might have just rushed it a little bit, I think.
The one main ambition for me, though, is Grealish. I mean, you've got four relatively defensive midfielders with Phillips, Rice, maybe Ward-Prowse can be classed in that, and Winks. And then you've got Mount and Foden. I mean, Grealish, as much people say yes and no, and the debate can go on. For me, especially in a Nations League game against Iceland and Denmark,
Needs to be in there for me.
give it, yeah, exactly. Give him the opportunity.
Yeah.
As much as I
Deserves it,
dislike the
doesn't he?
fella,
Deserves it.
should be in there. Like some of the names in there, I think he gets in over. I think he's better than Mason Mount.
Grealish, I would have put Grealish in. Yeah, we're just in case Villa fans have.
So it's hard. It's hard with that
Waiting
midfield
rings.
because I think it's different to the defence. I think defence you can argue, till sunset about who shouldn't be in there. Whereas I think with the attack and midfield, it's a lot harder to do. I think everyone's probably deserving of a place.
I mean, I'm glad that he's not gone for his scapegoat of Jesse Lingard. Back to Fulham, and he's found a few goals.
Yeah, it's a classic.
I'm glad that that's not come in there. But
He's always cutting about the England team. Isn't he?
Yeah.
No matter what form he's in.
But I mean,
Yeah,
it looks positive. I mean, it's a young squad. Don't get me wrong, but that's what we're looking for. I mean, the level of quality that England youth are bringing through at the moment, it's promising for us. You think that Euros have now been postponed until next summer. If these can kick on, Mason Greenwood, finally going to be able to get a full season of Premier League football under his belt. Danny Ings came into, rich vein of form towards the end of last season.
Brilliant, weren't he, last season?
Yeah,
Totally deserves to be in.
Yeah, it's definitely a squad that you can be excited about. But like you say, I mean, there's plenty of omissions that you can argue about. Like you say, mainly Tarkowski. For me, he's got to be in there. Even as
I just think he takes that team to another level, mate. I think our attack is a joke, really. Sancho, Sterling.
Again, I don't know if it's about another level. Obviously, for me, he is better than Mings. Don't get me wrong. I don't think it's night and day between the two. But I think if we're going in there based on merit, you've got to look at Tarkowski, and for me, even Ben Mee.
Yeah, but I think Ben Mee does deserve one, but there's no way he gets one now. I don't think.
No, I mean Michael
Too
Keane.
late now.
Yeah,
Ben Mee,
Michael
I think.
Keane, he was good towards the end of the season. I mean, there's that ridiculous rumour about Ronald Koeman wanting him in at Barca.
I'll see.
Yeah, it's a strange one.
If Tarky's struggling to get in, then Ben Mee don't have a chance. You know what I mean?
You're right in that one. Definitely.
And I can as much as I'd like Ben Mee to get one, I think there's better defenders than Ben Mee. As solid as Ben Mee is, I don't think he gets a place in. Even if he does get a call up, he don't get a start. So
there we are, mixed reviews on the England team, I think, to say the least, haven't we? But now we're going to move on to our fantasy football team. Been looking forward to this. First, before we even start naming players, though, team names.
Oh no!
What are we?
Right, well, I've gone for a Neil Warnock quote, mate.
Right.
Don't know if you've ever seen it. He says, "Go and get it bath, Danny. You make me feel sick if I look at you." So,
Danny
my team name is get it bath, Danny.
Big Neil Warnock.
Jeez. Yeah, no, I've come out with a few good ones in past. I've had Murder on the Dance Floor. I've had Champagne Super Rovers.
Sorry, I thought you said good then.
And I've carried it on this year with an absolute cracker of Victor Moses Lawn.
Oh, I like that one. Victor Moses Lawn. Well, I've gone after his quality season. I've gone with one that's been used a bit with people. Lord of the Ings.
It's all right.
Lads aren't pleased with that. I can tell that reaction.
We like it. We like a unique name in the Multi Glory League.
I ain't gone unique, but I couldn't think about it, to be honest with you.
It is a difficult task. It took me about half an hour this morning.
We were I was rushing a bit with mine because
I was watching.
Left it late, but
I was watching all the Neil Warnock quotes, all the highlights, trying to get a team name.
I thought Muscat were going to be included.
I tried, mate. I tried. Not enough characters.
Right. No, never mind.
It were going to be Sergio Wright for Muscat, but I could only put Sergio Wright for. I could only write Sergio Wright for Musk. So that's it.
Right. So formation. I think we've all gone the same, haven't we? 3-4-3.
Game week 1. Yeah.
Yeah, we've all gone game week 1 with that. I think it's always good to have more.
What have you gone?
I've gone 3-4-3.
Oh, I thought you said. Yeah, sorry. I thought you said 4. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, 3-4-3.
3-4-3. We've all gone. We've all gone. So attacking lineups, haven't we? First week. So in goal, what have we gone for, lads?
I'll set us off because I might have to just try and justify this one a little bit. this every season, Nick Pope's my go-to. He's always up there in the points, even if he don't get. Well, this season he obviously got a lot of clean sheets, but the previous season he'd always get a few points for saves. But he's had a big increase, $5.5 million for Nick Pope, and I think that is too much, especially when we're not playing the opening game week. So I've left Nick Pope out, and I've gone with McCarthy at Southampton. $4.5 million, right? So he's cheap, right? And they've got some good opening fixtures as well. If I had some spare money, I'll definitely upgrade. I think later down the line to someone like Nick Pope, but I don't think I put Pope in with him missing game week 1. So I've gone Alex McCarthy. They've got Palace on opening day.
Yeah.
Have you got Marcus?
Well, mine's. I'm pretty sure it's going to be an early transfer, right? Again, initially I was looking at Nick Pope. Obviously, I've created my team prior to fixtures come out, and I'm going to be honest. 8 players have now been removed after I've seen the fixtures, mainly because 7 of those weren't playing. So it didn't help me out in that manner. But no, for the one that I've gone for initially, I've gone for Kasper Schmeichel.
How much?
$5.5 million.
Oh, it's expensive. It's expensive.
But 2 opening games, you've got West Brom away, which again that could be a slippery one. You never know, especially if Chilwell's going to be leaving. But I've had him in a little time last year, and I think even for the first 2 game weeks against Brom away and Burnley at home, I'm expecting at least 8 points, if not double clean sheets. Like I say, after that, you've got Man City away. So I think, after that game week against Burnley, he's going to be leaving it. It might be an entry for either Ederson or Nick Pope.
That's a lot of money for a 2-game keeper.
It is. But, I mean, you look around there, and who else is there to go for?
Well, I can answer that question.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Let's have it.
I've gone with Rui Patricio, the Wolves.
They've got 2 tough games opening up.
I
think
City and Sheffield United.
Well, I didn't realise.
Didn't know
that. What a surprise! Dom's not done his own work.
I didn't realise that.
Sheffield United first game, which is a bit of a toughie.
So as well, I think.
But I think Patricio this season. I like that Wolves back line, and I've got a few Wolves players in.
I was tempted by Rui, but until I saw that he had 2 level 4 rated games, so I've left him out. But I think, was he $5 million?
I think it's 5. Yeah,
it's a decent price.
It's a decent price. He's a decent keeper, and I think Wolves have got a good back line, haven't they? But I didn't do me as usual. I've completely done my own work on that.
I mean, after that, you're onto a winner because based on the game rating, the fixture difficulty rating that FPL give you, you've got 5 2s in a row.
Yeah.
So if you can, you can bypass that City and Sheffield United, you're onto a winner. But
that's
that's what I might be doing there. You've pulled me in there. I've got the first 2 of West Brom, and
you might have made the right move there. Yeah. That's gonna be. But luckily for me, which these 2 give me grief about, I put a decent keeper on my bench as well, just in case these sort of things crop up.
It's an absolute schoolboy, honestly.
So,
if there's anyone worth over $5.5 million, I'm ending in.
If he's anyone over $4.5 million,
it's not. He's over 4, I think.
Well, yeah, that's the.
It's the new boy, Sheffield United. I've gone with Ramsdale.
What, 5?
He's 5, I think.
I think he's a 5 as well. Yeah.
Oh,
I know it's not going to be doing well this, but he's on my bench too. I've gone with Ramsdale as my sub keeper, and he could be coming in sooner than I expected. That's what you've been telling me, but yeah.
I was tempted by that, I must admit, but again, I just thought with fixtures, I thought McCarthy suited better, and he's $500,000 less. So,
who've you got on your bench, Jim?
I've got Nyland.
Yeah.
At Villa.
Thank you. Great minds think alike.
It was between that. Obviously, you always go for a $4 million keeper, regardless
exactly
of what Tom does. Keepers are easy to sub out. They rarely sort of drop in or increase in price unless they have a stormer or a stinker. But I've got Nyland because I think he's probably more likely to get a game over Reina.
Reina's not there.
Oh, gone back, is
he? He were only on loan and he's just signing for Lazio or Fiorentina or someone like that.
Oh, wow, I didn't realise that.
Obviously, there's Tom Eaton, who's back in contention. They've got an Ireland, and then there's another one.
I know. I had Button.
Lots of keepers.
I had Button at
Yeah,
Brighton.
I'm going to say
But I
Button
maybe-
week
again,
one
he-
through.
Yeah, Matt Ryan played nearly every game, I think, in the end. So I've gone Ireland. 4 million, and he's likely to play. So
Beautiful.
Risky that from you too, man. Goalkeeper injury on the first week, and you've got Big Nyland coming.
You've got that free transfer.
you got
Free transfer.
Free transfer for King,
Yeah,
fella.
if another position crops up though, there's a bad injury. you're in bother.
It don't matter,
Yeah,
no, because by that point I'll be 4 points plus ahead of you, so I can just take the hit.
Free hit.
We'll see. No, my back three is you're not beating this. I've gone all out this year with defence. But I'll start. I'll
This
stick
is
us
the
off.
thing. Yeah,
Stick
go
us
on.
off this time.
Go on,
I'm very like I build from the back, mate.
He goes
That's
big
all right.
names. He goes big names, and that's
I'll start off with the lesser of my three names at defence.
okay. Yeah, I'll do the same.
Carry on with Wolves. I've gone with Connor Cody as one of my defenders.
I mean, to be honest, I don't mind it because I've also got a Wolves player,
So have
Yeah.
I. Yeah,
and I'm thinking that Jim's got the same as me and Ruben Vinagre.
Vinagre. Yes, mate.
There we go.
Yeah, that's the
Have
one.
you two done this together? Let's see.
Thing is,
Ruben Vinagre, Johnny's injured.
4.5 million Vinagre.
Yeah,
That's-
Johnny is injured, so he's not playing. He's done his anterior cruciates.
Johnny out.
You've
yeah.
got a defender who's assuring, unless Ainsley Maitland-Niles comes in, which has been rumours of.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
seen
And even if that happens, he's more of a
Vinagre's-
right-sided, and he's wanting to play centre mid. So realistically, Vinagre's not even got an issue.
No.
So you've got Vinagre in there. Where is he to go?
at 4.5 million. I think I was tempted by Doherty as well, but he's 6 million, and
Yeah.
you know they're both
I
going to be
was
playing in the
tempted
same back
too.
line, both playing full back. I think Vinagre is a one man. At that price anyway, you're saving a lot of money and you're getting a Wolves defender.
Yeah, Doherty's a weird one because last 2 years I've been the exact same. I've resisted, and then you put him in, and then nothing happens, and then you take him out, and
gets
then he
a goal.
starts doing stuff, and then you put him back in, and nothing happens.
He's a weird
Like
one.
an
He does
old,
get
it's like an
Everyone
old.
has their player, and Doherty for me is that one. No matter what
Yeah.
I'll do, if I've got him in my team, you can bank on him getting a 2-pointer max.
he crops up with a goal every now and again, doesn't he?
You're not wrong.
So
So,
I think Vinagre is a choice, man.
Could be a good shout that from you two. Didn't even enter my head, I'll be honest, but yeah, it could be a good shout. So then, what would you say is, in
Next
your
up.
opinion, your next best defender?
I think
yeah?
me and Chevy have done the same again.
I don't know.
And maybe
I-
not.
I'm going to say I don't think I will because if we have, you've gone for you've double whopper of teams. Go on.
So I've had some similar thinking to the Vinagre signing.
Right.
Ricardo Pereira injured at Leicester.
James Justin, here he comes.
Justin in, mate. 4.5 million
I nearly
again.
picked him myself.
Another big money saver in the Leicester defence, playing fullback. Good fixtures as well.
Yeah.
So I've got Justin in my other starter.
Yeah.
I get that one. Like,
Yeah.
I nearly put him in myself.
It was between, for me, Vinagre and Justin in that last spot because the other three that I've got, which to be honest, the one that's on my bench could easily get swapped out for James Justin. Because I think that there'll might be a few eyebrows raised when I tell you my bench player.
I reckon it's the same.
You
one.
two are gonna hate my bench. No, got two defenders on it.
Yeah, we all do. We've all gone 3-4-3.
Yeah, we all do.
All right, I thought you could just pick who you want.
You can tell that Dom usually finishes last in fantasy, can't you?
Yeah,
It's coming through easily here.
If anyone's what, I mean, I should have tried and found my team that had finished last season because I think I changed it. I think after game week 3, it didn't even get changed. So
Oh dear.
some of them probably not even playing in the Premier League anymore. Probably transferred a while back. But yeah,
I think you still had Lukaku in there
well, there you
at the
go.
beginning of the season.
I'm not great with this with fantasy football. But this season, I'm going to really try this year because we're taking it serious. So yeah, I'm going to really try my best to stick at it.
Well, where to start then with 10 million in keepers?
Yeah, but my other two defenders though are unreal. My next best one, I'd say, it's hard to choose because they're both class. Is Andy Robertson.
I agree.
I
But
brought the
I've
bank.
that.
I brought the bank.
I've got Robbo in there.
Yeah, you got Robbo.
Oh, see, so I've only gone with a one big defender, me.
He's gone Trent.
I've gone Trent.
Yeah.
He cannot not be in the team.
You see, I had Trent
You've got
in,
to have one of them in, haven't you?
but I needed money elsewhere, so it's been a sacrifice of Trent for
Trent.
Robbo
Oh,
because I needed money elsewhere. to the extra 0.5 mil because you've got a 7 mil in Robbo and a 7.5 mil in Trent. I mean, realistically speaking, Trent's the go-to. Don't get me wrong. I've learned that from last year because last
He's
year
expensive though, isn't he? But I've had to get him in.
But no, last year for about 16 weeks in a row, I had Robbo over Trent, and like I say, it was costing me week in, week out because Joe, who's the other lad that's in ours, he had Trent in, and there were one game week where I think he got 2 goals and an assist, and he finished on something like 23 points, and Robbo was just there with a clean sheet or something.
Yeah, he seems to be. His points wise, with free kicks he scores, corners, just free kick deliveries, crosses, and goals. He's there on everything. Whereas I think that's what Robertson lacks a bit more.
I mean, the key thing here is these aren't set in stone. You know, we've still got a couple of weeks to tinker around. This is just preliminary. Yeah.
There might be some serious.
I think there's I think if we did another podcast 2 weeks later, I think these teams are looking a lot different.
Yeah, we could end up doing another one.
Yeah.
But
starting.
I'm going to say
defenders,
I've got one more. I didn't say my second
I have
one.
as well. Yeah.
Who's
your last one, Mark?
My other starting one. Again, I've gone for a Southampton defender here.
Really?
That's what I was saying to you when I said you'd double up when you said I might have the same player. But I've gone for Ryan Bertrand. Now, again, that one might raise eyebrows, it might not. But Southampton's second half of the season were a different team to the first. And if you look at it statistically, there's no player that has got a value of 5 million or less that's created as many chances as Bertrand. And with a player like Ings up front who finishes for fun, them two can get a little bit of a partnership working. I think assists can be coming through. The only downside there is the clean sheets. But I've got a little bit of confidence.
I respect that. I think
they're coming through with Alex McCarthy. So
I respect that. Wouldn't be my choice, but I think it's a decent choice.
Yeah, it's a decent shout. Again, my last defender is.
Is it Arnold?
Here we go.
No, it's Big Virgil.
Is it?
Virgil.
Yeah.
See that? I must admit, mate, that was a combination that I started with last year. I thought Trent Arnold too expensive. I'll have Robertson and Van Dijk. They'll map up me some points. But again, Trent Arnold's trumping them both.
I mean, what's Virgil? He's 7 as well, isn't he?
No, I think he's a 6.5. Virgil, maybe.
Have a look.
It did take another chunk out of the bank.
Yeah, 6.5.
You'll see
right.
You'll see with my attack later on that.
I mean, what confuses me here, right? You know, you've got a eureka moment. You know, Dom's got 2 keepers there.
Yeah.
Get a Nyland in over Ramsdale. Get yourself Trent and Robbo.
Yeah.
You know,
it's
a no-brainer.
He's really going to try hard this year, though. So
opening game at season against Leeds. Sure.
They have got Leeds. Yeah, you never know. Though. You never know with Leeds.
So full 3. I've gone Arnold, Justin, and Vinagre for my starting.
Yep. Yeah, I'm on Robertson, Van Dijk, and Cordy. Got me on
Robertson, Bertrand, Vinagre. So we've all got a little bit in common.
What about your subs then?
Subs.
Yeah, just
I've got some. No, I've got a couple of good shouts here.
I'm thinking similar.
Weirdly,
I'm thinking similar.
One of my subs in defence is actually more expensive than 2 of my starting defenders. Right. I've got John Egan at 5 mil.
I'm looking at him.
One, I think I can just switch him in and out, regardless. Looking at who Wolves and Leicester are playing between Justin and Vinagre. And I've also got the 4 million Ferguson from Crystal Palace.
Oh, Nathan Ferguson.
So he's rumoured to be starting.
Yeah, I mean, I was speaking about this, I think it was yesterday, and I assumed that obviously he wouldn't get in there over Van Aanholt, but I didn't realise that Van Aanholt were injured. He's got a dislocated shoulder. So he's not going to be there for the first few games. So
and at 4 million is as low as you can go on price.
Yeah.
I'll always look to try and play a sub or get a sub that's going to be playing. So if I do need to have someone in it, I can. So I've got Ferguson as my other sub.
Yeah, I mean, after that game week 4, coming into game week 5, I think a lot of people will have him because looking at it, after that, they've got Brighton at home, Fulham away, Wolves away, Leeds at home, Burnley away, Newcastle at home, West Brom away. I mean, that's 7...
All winnable, aren't they? Then?
Yeah, and, there's clean sheet opportunities. If he's still in the team by that point, I think you won't be alone in that one.
I mean, he's staying on my bench regardless at that price. Got no money spare me.
Well,
so.
I went down similar route to you with Sheffield United again. I've got Stevens on my bench.
He were a go-to for me last year.
Yeah, he's. I just don't know how Sheffield United are going to do. I'm still mixed. I mean, I'm back. I think they'll have another good season. I'm backing them on predictions video. I've said, I've put them quite high up. So I've got him, and then my other one's just I had no money.
Right.
Barry Douglas at Leeds.
Barry Douglas.
Yeah, that was another option because he's going to be playing, I think, isn't he?
You can get that Nathan Ferguson in.
Yeah, I don't know if he'll be playing or not. Douglas. I don't know if he played much second half.
We'll
see.
We'll
see.
Well, here we go. On my bench, I'll tell you now that Barry Douglas will not be playing, Dom, because I've got the player that actually plays for him. I've got Stuart Dallas. Plays left back.
He was just a bit too expensive for what I had left.
An extra $500,000. But obviously, I'm a Blackburn fan. I followed the Championship last year. He was scoring goals and he was getting assists.
Yeah.
You're looking at players that have done similar in the past in the Premier League, especially for obviously FPL. I think he could be one of them dark horses that when they've got a decent run in, which obviously at the beginning they haven't. They've got Liverpool, Sheffield United and City within the first 4 games. But for certain games he could come in and he could get, the little odd thing here and there.
Yeah, I like him. I'm a big fan of Dallas, but I just didn't have that quite enough money for him.
Yeah. I've got a proposition for you. Take out Ramsdale, put Nyland in. You can get him.
No, you need to have a strong keeper on your bench, lads. Honestly,
but then
there's bound to be a keeper injury to one of your team this week. I'm telling you.
Last defender on my bench. Again, I talked about him in the England call-up, but I've gone for Brandon Williams. I really do rate this lad.
I didn't yeah.
And for $4.5 million, I think now he starts ahead of Shaw. I think he's personally,
I'm a Luke Shaw fan though.
Again, it's not. I'm not a Luke Shaw fan. I'm just a bigger Brandon Williams fan.
Fair enough.
I think he's got more to him. I think he's still maybe a little naive in certain situations that he needs to learn on. But there's no better way of doing that than playing the games. And I think Solskjaer believes in him with that as well. And especially with the start that United have got. I mean, Palace and Brighton, I don't see why that Williams isn't going to get in there. And especially with how liable that Shaw is to getting injuries.
See, I had him in last year, but obviously, because he was starting early on, and then Luke Shaw came in, and he didn't get a look in, and then he started playing towards the end.
Yeah.
He's another decent option because he's cheap, and he's obviously starting in quite a good team. So, it's a fair enough shout. So
then on to this is the bit I can't wait for midfield because I've thrown everything. If you think I've thrown money into defence, wait for this. So my first one, just signed a new deal, so I'll start with him. James Maddison has gone in my team. Just signed a 4-year deal at Leicester.
Yep.
You two look a bit unsure on that shout.
No.
Yeah. He's injured though, is he not?
I'd love it.
I mean, he hasn't got that little injury sign next to his name, so.
Oh, well, he's been partying, hasn't he? So maybe I've been on the booze all summer. So.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, we didn't even mention Maddison's name in the England call-up.
No, he's not in it. I think it's because he's injured.
No, he could be injured. We're not sure on that one, but fantasy football, if he is injured, they need to get it updated because that's one thing I was looking out for: who's injured and who isn't.
Yeah,
so he's my first shout.
I had a similar thought process there because I was on and on between James Maddison and his teammate.
Harvey Barnes.
I went for his teammate, and it is indeed Harvey Barnes.
Yeah, I was exact same. I was between them two.
I think Barnes has got more of a goal threat than Maddison, and especially towards the end of last season and in certain sparks throughout the season, he shows what he can do. And obviously, back end of that season, they did tail off massively compared to what they were doing earlier on. And I think Harvey Barnes, there's not really many left mids for Leicester. I think he's secured that spot for himself now. Whereas at the beginning of last season, again, he wasn't necessarily a nailed-on starter. So I think, again, with him being able to get that level of consistency under his belt this season, I think he's a no-brainer for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree on that. I like Barnes.
How much was Harvey Barnes? Do you know?
Same as Maddison, $7 million.
Well, I suppose closest to that price I've got, if I go sort of similar players, I've gone with Traore at $6.5 million.
Yeah.
I think the partnership with Jimenez, I think we'll see it again next year. or this season, should I say. I think at 6.5 million, I can't not get him in.
He were a Championship Rovers fan favourite last year with Traore. He were in there for the majority of the year. Dom loved that one.
Thank God that name's gone. That's all I'll say on that.
I'm pretty sure that I've got a message from you.
Is...
I think I've got a message from you saying that you really do like that name. I can dig it out if you want me to.
Oh, exposed.
Can't remember saying that, but we'll move swiftly on. So it's yours, James. This one.
Traore.
Oh yeah, sorry, I'll give your second one. Sorry.
Yeah, so I'll chuck a big one at you because yeah. So obviously we're all starting 4 in the middle.
Yeah,
and I've got my Traore here. Next big name is Aubameyang. If you haven't got Aubameyang in, I think it's a shocker.
I have. I've got him in.
He's 12. He's most expensive.
I did
in midfield, and Kevin De Bruyne would be in there for me over Aubameyang, and I'd be saving $500,000. But also, I've got a couple of good fixtures early on. The City not so good, and my thinking with Aubameyang is I'm going to captain him. I'm going to say it right now. I'm going to captain Aubameyang first game week. I think they got Fulham away.
Old.
And I may as well say then as well that I am as well. He's my captain.
I think with the first sort of couple of fixtures Arsenal have got, I think it's looking strong. City not so good. And I think if it gets a bit icky for Arsenal with fixtures, I'll be having Aubameyang out and De Bruyne in. He's obviously a little bit of a cheaper option as well, De Bruyne. So it will free up a little bit of money.
Well, seeing as you two have gone for the big gun, I might as well join you. I did have Aubameyang in until probably about 4 hours ago. And his inconsistency, well, his inconsistency, but Arsenal's inconsistencies scare me. For a player that you're spending 12 million on, you need someone that's going to get a goal or someone that's going to get something. And Aubameyang does, but I think this man does more. And it's probably in the majority of people's teams, and it's more Salah. It was a toss-up between Salah and Mane. Last year I was a Mane boy. The year before I was Salah boy.
Salah gets the pens, doesn't he?
I've returned to the Egyptian this year.
So have I, Marcus.
Where's the rest of your money gone?
He's got 2 biggies there in the middle.
Listen, let me tell you, you've been spending your little extra $500,000 on your subs and on your defenders.
I don't think I have.
I've got 2 £12 million midfielders there. Salah and Aubameyang.
You ain't got a good backup keeper though, have you? You know what I mean?
That's going to cost me. and I'm still backing my attack as well, fellas, to be honest.
I can't wait.
I can't wait for your attack. I was a bit worried about my attack.
At this rate, someone like Hal Robson-Carney or Charlie Austin's up top for you. Because I don't know where your money's coming from.
Well, you're going to be shocked, lads. Let me tell you.
I don't know you've done it.
So for me, it's Aubameyang, Salah, Traore, and I've obviously got one more spot.
Who's your next biggest one then, Dom?
My next biggest one, well, obviously I've got Aubameyang, Maddison, and then it's... I think they're both biggies, but I'll go with another new boy to the Premier League. I've gone with Ziyech. How you pronounce it? Chelsea.
Yeah, Hakim Ziyech.
I've gone with him. Risk, because obviously when they come into the Premier League, you never know they're going to get on.
Yeah, exactly.
But when I've seen him, he's a quality player, and I think he'll bed right in at Chelsea. So I've took a bit of a risk, but class player, I think he'll do well.
I think, I agree. I think that's a good shout. I think it's something like quite expensive, though, I think, was it?
Yeah.
He were a bit expensive.
9, is it? 8.5?
Yeah, and I just thought, for as much as that is, I just thought, I don't know if it's worth spending the extra, well, what would have been a couple of mil.
Actually, 8 mil is. 8 mil.
8 mil.
Yeah.
Which is less than I thought.
For me, when you're getting Traore at 6.5, well, you'll see I couldn't afford, I got 212 million.
What a surprise that is.
So. Well, and I've got a couple of big strikers, can I just say. So my last option in midfield is actually Saint-Maximin, and it's not brilliant, but for the 5.5 mil,
have lit up there. Have you got him as well?
Yeah,
you have. I think he'll grab more than any other 5.5 mil midfielder, which is why he's in my team. Ideally, I'd prefer someone like a Harvey Barnes or a Maddison, but I want my attack to be strong as well, and that's why I've gone with Saint-Maximin.
Again, last year, I jumped the gun with him before he had his little purple patch, and it came back and reaped the rewards. I think for 3 game weeks in a row, he had double figures, or if not, at least 2 of the 3, and the other one maybe a goal. And and I was spying on other people's teams and they were copying. Obviously not you two. You two quit because you were sulking that I was so far ahead.
No, I didn't quit. I finished off the season in second or third, I think.
Could have fooled me with that score. But yeah, no, St. Maximin definitely for me. Especially with West Ham first game of the season, and then Brighton, like I say, for me, definitely.
Yeah, as much as I don't want to give you too much praise, but that's a good shout. That I think Sam Maximin, you picked a good one there. I didn't think of him. I thought about Traore though. Like you've got James. I nearly went with him, but no, veered off. But my last one's another big name. My last midfielder, Son, Tottenham.
He seems. I find him. He is a good shout, but I just find him so intermittent in the season where he's in and out, of the team, and then I find myself selling him all the time. And as soon as I sell him, he comes in, gets a few goals, and he's out again.
He's my Doherty. He's my Doherty.
Yeah. So there's always that one player.
Still well clear from Son, me.
Dom, for once, I'm agreeing with you.
You got Son in.
Heung-min Son is in the team.
Yeah.
I mean, first 3 games: Everton, Southampton, Newcastle. It's a no-brainer.
It's a good start, isn't it? Yeah, it's a good start.
I think with Son, he's obviously being a midfielder. You've got Aubameyang. He is definitely a player that has got a goal threat. I mean, you look at Spurs. You've got Son. You've got Kane. Potentially Dele Alli towards when Mourinho came in. Maybe Bergwijn you can suggest, but again he started well. Maybe not so much towards the end of it. But with Son and Kane, obviously you've got to have one of them in for me. And Son's the one that I've gone with. I can't afford to fork out the money that Kane demands.
I'm putting out. I'm saying my midfield is stronger out of all of these.
I'd be inclined to disagree.
Aubameyang, Salah, Maximin, Traore are getting more points.
Traore don't always start, no, does he?
Well, to be honest, no, I would agree with you. But that's because you are stupid.
You think I've got a shocking attack, lads, but wait till you hear it.
Well, I can't wait to hear it. Because
no, I'm the same.
I don't know. I don't know what you
who's your bench midfielder? Let's get onto that one.
It's got to be the same for everyone. Dale Stephens.
Not the same for me. I can't even remember him, man.
He's my bottom price. He's my bottom price bencher as usual.
I've played a blinder with this,
and he's starting.
Go on, Dom.
First game week. Forget that because this is the only player I've got who isn't.
I think Dom is on the same mindset as myself here.
Are you at Aston Villa?
I'm not.
Oh,
it's a similar player.
I've gone with John McGinn.
Oh. Ooh. How much is he though?
Can you remember how he started before
he was very good.
Weren't it? And then he had that bad injury. New season, back fresh. I think he could kick on. And he were only about. I think he was 4.5 or 4.
He's on your bench. He's on your bench, though, isn't he, Dom?
You sure about that, Dom?
What are you more than that?
He's 5.5.
Ridiculous. An extra £1 million on a bench player.
Right. You need to get it out your head here about having bench players as nothing. This is why you don't win leagues.
No, Dale Stephens plays. That's why he's on my bench.
Yeah, but does he get points?
He gets a couple. But he's
exactly,
not...
2.
Listen, I've got Aubameyang, Salah, Maximin and Traore. I'm not going to be short of points.
Right, well...
go on, one of them gets injured. So I transfer him out.
Right.
And I'm saving up money. There's a reason why I've got 2 £12 million midfielders and a solid attack. And it's because I don't
reason why you finished third last year. Because I brought in Phil Foden.
It's a good shout, that. How much were he? How much were Foden?
6.5. And the reason is, you've got to go for something on your bench that can change it. Otherwise, you're on the same 11 every week in, week out. You can't just go and say, I've got them, I can take someone out, do this, do that. You can't.
I can see your point, but I don't agree, mate. I rarely have an issue with not having someone. The players I'm playing in my midfield, they're there to get points every week. Not, they're playing a good team, they might not get points. You're thinking Foden will get points, so I'll sub so and so off. He might not get points. So Harvey Barnes, for example, might be playing City.
Right,
you sub him on for Foden.
Yeah.
Whereas I think across I think Traore is getting points against any team. Yeah. Maximan's got a shout, and then Salah Aubameyang.
Yeah, but again, that's where then you stack your transfers for what are needed. You'll get injuries, you'll get suspensions, you'll get people that are out of form. For me, you can't just say, right, that's my 11, go for the 4 cheapest people on the bench.
Well,
that's why you've been able to afford Salah.
My argument is that I I'd rather get the 2 points from Dale Stephens and the possibility of any more. So what? I don't know. Say what's Foden averaging a game? I reckon maybe like average of something like 4 points a game. I reckon.
Right.
I'm willing to take the less than the 2 points less every game week if I'm having to play Stephens when I've got Aubameyang and Salah.
Well, Dale Stephens last year got 63 points throughout the year. He didn't score a goal. He got one assist, and he got 6 extra points from a clean sheet.
Let's have a look at what Foden got last year.
Let's.
Let's.
He got 69. He scored 5 goals.
Yeah,
he got 2 assists, but he played 4 less minutes.
Yeah, well, he got Dale Stephens 6 points off him. Something, 6,
right, and how many extra minutes did he play?
That doesn't matter, Shebby. When he's hitting 10 points.
Foden's going to be playing more this year because Silva's gone.
Yeah.
I knew this was going to happen.
Is that right, or is that right?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think he will play more minutes, but Dale Stephens is a trooper, mate.
I don't trust Pep me though in Man City players. He changes them all the time, doesn't he?
He does. Again, that's why I've only got the one City player in there.
Yeah.
Initially, I had more. Initially, I did have De Bruyne, and I also had, I think it was Foden as well, to be honest. But again, with Foden, for me, it's again you've got to have someone that can be a creative spark that can come off the bench if you need it. If someone doesn't start, because again, what you're doing there is you're saying, these players are guaranteed to play. You know, you've got Pep rotation, you've got.
Well, Matt, I'm banking on my free transfer. If someone's not playing, then they'll get subbed out.
But what I'm saying there is you don't know if they're playing or not. There's some times that you've got to Maximan's going to start, and next thing you know, he's on the bench.
Yeah, but I'm willing to take that risk. I mean, I think he plays a lot of games this season, mate. He's had his first season settling in. Now he means business, mate.
Right, we'll leave it there.
We'll come back in a couple of weeks, won't we, lads? And we'll see after.
Yeah, we'll come back in a couple of weeks. We'll say we're all doing. But
I'll bring my trophy from last year as well.
I've got Phil Foden in my team trophy as well.
Right, so moving on to the attackers then. After that, hopefully we'll agree a little bit more on this. I'm not sure we will. We've got to start. Only man we can start with on this, because me and Marcus are thinking, how he's even managed to pick 3 strikers in the envelope. Yeah. Go on, James. What have we got first?
What do you want? The biggest name, lowest name?
Up to you. You choose. What do you want to do?
I'll start with Biggie.
Go right in there.
Starting is Jamie Vardy at 10 million.
He's come to base on the most expensive.
Jesus, who's your other
10.5 million?
So they've got again decent start to fixtures, and I also think he's too good not to start. I think he'll be as per usual, he'll be banging goals in. So I've got Vardy in, and then I've also got Timo Werner in. 9.5 million. It's a bit. I spent a bit of time deciding whether to put him in or not, because obviously it's his first move.
Yeah,
he was a popular choice as well on fantasy, which is what nearly steered me away from him. I kind of fancy a bit of Danny Ings as well, but I'm just banking on Werner just having an unbelievable season. First season in, just banging him in. So I've gone Werner.
Yeah, no, I was thinking about Werner, but I've had to go. You've done well for it. Yeah, you were truthful, weren't you, when you said you'd pick some good big names up front still, because you have. You've done well. My first one, and this is my biggest name up front, which is Lacazette.
Yeah,
I want to rethink that one, Dom.
Yeah, and he's the biggest name.
He's rumoured to be off, is he not?
Yep.
He'll be on plane soon.
Yeah, head's been turned.
When he finds out he's in my team, he'll be leaving as soon as he can. He's thinking no chance next season. So, yeah, Lacazette, if he stays, but like you said, he could be. I'll be tracking the planes just to make sure he's definitely here. So he's one of them, and I'll name another, Matt Burney.
Your team is on. I can.
So Ollie McBurney will get at least 10. He'll get at least 10 goals this season.
He's staying in all season for you.
He's the man. All right then. Yeah, I'm going to stick with McBurney. So he's staying in my team. He's going to do the business, and I'm backing him. I'm backing Matt Burnley. He's
I'm
New
getting
York-
I'm getting
New York, two big
flashbacks.
names.
I'm getting flashbacks here on my Dexter Blackstock.
Dexter Blackstock. That were a shocking season when they used to champion. Well, I think they still
Yeah.
do, don't they? But it's not as good as I don't think
No.
they used to be championship. So yeah, they're my first two. And I'll,
But yeah, first two, I've gone for one of Jim's of Timo Werner. I think he's too good not to go for it.
And our claws.
I mean, he's just different, really. He's fast, clinical, strong. He can get an header. He's everything that Chelsea need in a striker, and especially with Ziyech, that you've got Dom supplying him. You've got Pulisic. He's got the creativity around him. I think that Chelsea themselves already at the beginning of last season more so than anything, but they were scoring goals for fun.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that's why I've gone with him. I think Chelsea are building this quite creative team at the minute.
Yeah,
and I'll Pulisic
like that. I mean, Havertz, if he comes through, which he's looking more and more likely as the days go by. I mean, he could be one Dom that you might have to switch out for Ziyech at this rate because he's more than likely going to be a midfielder, and realistically for Bayern he was playing up front.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with that, but yeah, I can't argue with you both there. I was close with Werner. I think he's going to do well. So
yeah,
good choice from you both there.
And then secondly, he's already been mentioned by Jimmy, but I've gone for Danny Ings. Again, with the level of goals that he was playing last year, I mean, sort of secondary to Jamie Vardy in goal scoring. I think again he's one that you just can't turn down. Again, I suggested linking him with Bertrand, so it could be a dynamic duo between the two, getting me the points to shoot me up the table.
Two duos going there, right?
But for me, Danny Ings definitely.
Yeah, that's fair. I had him in my team and took him out again. So
yeah, I still might put him in. I've got, if I take Werner out, I've got, I think how much is Danny Ings now? Is he
8.5?
8.5. So I'd save about £1 million on with Werner, but. Again, I could take Danny Ings out and Werner could have season of his life. So I think I will end up sticking with Werner. But my third option, gone for Big Mitro. 6 million. It's so cheap, and I fancy him for 3 goals.
I did initially have him. I don't know, but I did.
He's a goal scorer, mate. He's a goal scorer.
The thing that worries me with Mitrovic, he's looked back at his Premier League seasons.
Bit dodgy, innit?
He's an understatement.
Yeah, but I think for a third striker at 6 mil, I just don't think you can say no.
I mean, I'd be inclined to say that Dom's got a better one in McBurney.
What?
Ollie McBurney, honest, I'm telling you, he's getting at least 10 goals this season.
Snooze fest, man. Snooze fest.
10 to 15 goals he'll get this year, McBurney.
I don't know.
I'm backing him, lad. Yeah, he'll do well. But finishing off my team, another... I don't agree with this one.
Eyebrow raiser.
Yeah, it's an eyebrow raiser, all right. Yeah, I've gone with
Jordan
Ayew.
Now, I do like him. He just don't get enough for me.
I looked at the fixtures. I thought, he's one of them that won't be staying in the team. Well, I doubt it anyway. He starts well.
He could easily go 0 goals in those first 3 games, and no one would even bat an eyelid.
No,
but he could get 3 or 4.
I mean, I can't criticise it much because I had him last year, and I regrettably had him last year. So I think that's
you had him, but you wish you didn't have him.
He was scoring goals again. He was like a Doherty to me. He was scoring goals. I pulled him in. He did nothing.
Yeah,
he's still quite a bit of money though, isn't he? He's a little bit more than.
I think I got him last year at like 5.5, 5.3, something like that.
Yeah, I think he's not near.
I'm going to say he's probably gone up now.
I think he's gone up. Yeah, I think he's higher than that.
He's current 6 mil. He is.
Oh,
but then again, I mean, 6 mil.
Do you think Jordan Ayew is getting more goals than Mitro this season? I don't think so.
It's hard to say, but Jordan Ayew, he's going to be. He's not going to be in my team long. I don't think.
He got 9 last year. You got 9 last year, did I?
Not planning on being a long-term McBurney.
I mean, I'm going to say, you say he's not going to be in your team, Dom. He's in your team for first game week.
First game week, but he's one of them. I'm already planning on. He's probably going to get the boot.
He's like a Schmeichel.
A few weeks in, he'll probably get a kick out. But Yeah, so that's my take.
I'm saying, rounding off mine. This player really annoyed me last year because Joe, again, second of last year, he had him in, and he worried me. Calvert-Lewin.
I had him in and took him out.
Again, it's one of those.
Calvert.
13 goals last year. A way up between him and Richarlison, but obviously Richarlison's the extra mil. I think Richarlison maybe adds a bit more in creativity for potential assists and bonus points. But for me, for 7 million, there's no one better than Calvert-Lewin.
For that price, yeah, I'd agree.
Yeah, I mean, again, not necessarily the worst of starts. They've got a bit of a dodgy one away at Spurs, but again, Spurs are dodgy in themselves, so you never know if he could get a goal or two at the new White Hart. But then West Brom, Palace, Brighton, next three. I think there's easily two.
Depends if he picks up. It depends if he picks up where he did last year. He was a good choice last year. He was getting quite a few goals in that period. But yeah, it depends what Everton turns up this start of the season, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's true.
They were looking a bit dodgy against Blackpool when they drew 3-3. So
There was 3 down after about 10 minutes.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's our team's complete then. There's no point asking us all who's we think is going to be the best.
Well, no. Let's say it this way. We'll say who is the better team out of obviously not ourselves. So I'll say he's better out of Dom and James, so on and so forth.
Let's. I think we should summarise our starting lineup.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then anyone in the comments or listening, let us know on Twitter
what they think.
Or in the comments who you think's got the stronger team.
Yeah.
So I'll let you summarise your team first, Dom. Just your starting lineup.
All right.
Not any subs. I want your point scorers for the first week.
Our point scorers for the first week. Okay. Well, Patricio and Ramsdale are up against each other first week, so I've got a big decision to make there because I've got 2 strong keepers, unlike the other 2. So I can make a decision. I mean, Nyland's. I don't even know if he'll be at the ground really for their first game. So yeah. So I've got a bit of an advantage there. Then my defenders. I don't think they. I think these 2 will agree my defence is the best. Van Dijk, Robertson and Corder. It's hard to bet.
Yeah,
really.
I'd probably say that.
Then my midfielders are Aubameyang, gone with James on that one. Aubameyang's the captain. Ziyech, who's a bit of a risk, but I think he'll do well this week. I think that's why I put him in. And Maddison's just signed a new deal at Leicester, so he's got no worries now about another club. He's fine now. And I've actually forgot my other midfielder.
Heung-min Son, Dom. Heung-min Son.
That's it. That's Son in there. Who's a bit of I'm with James a little bit. I thought last season he was a bit hit and miss, but he's got the quite. I'm a big fan of Son. I think I think he'll hit the ground running again. Up front, Lacazette, a little bit dodgy. I'm just checking on them flights just to make sure. I'm just checking on them flights to make sure there's no. Yeah, he's not jetting off, but we'll see. Jordan Ayew, another bit of a risky one, but like Mark said, 9 goals last season, not bad. And then big man Matt Burney, who's going to get another one to let us know in the
15
comments.
goals
Is Matt
apparently.
Burney.
The last
time Burney going to get 15 goals this season. Do you agree with me?
The last time that Dom suggested to me that a player was going to get double figures in a Premier League season, I seem to remember a certain Yakubu scoring. I think it was 15 for Blackburn in the relegation season.
We had a bet. And I was
still waiting for that payment. I'm pretty sure the interest taken that through the thousands.
It's gone up quite a lot. Yeah, that was the other way around that season. I said there's no chance that Yakubu will score 15 goals, and obviously Marcus said he would. We had a bet, and he went and one of the top scorers in the league, weren't he? But Matt Burney will, If people agree Matt Burney's going to get 15 goals? See, that's my team. Lord of the Rings.
James?
Yeah, go on, James.
Well, I mean, let's just end it here. I think if Dom's put that team out.
Nothing to justify.
Unlike Dom, and as we said, I've not gone for £200 million keepers. I've got McCarthy starting against Palace away. They've got a couple of good fixtures early on, and I think he'll do all right if Southampton come out like they did last year. And obviously in Ireland, won't be getting a look in, but he will be playing. Trent Arnold, Justin at Leicester against West Brom, and Vinagre as well. I think that's a solid lineup, mate. I think Vinagre is outdoing Cordy. Is it Cordy you've got?
Yeah. He does.
Yeah, I think he's outdoing Cody, just for maybe a couple of assists more, maybe. And then in midfield, got 2 powerhouses, Aubameyang, Salah, and then another 2 powerhouses, Traore and Saint-Maximin. Good fixtures again. Wolves have got Sheffield United, Newcastle, West Ham, Liverpool, Leeds, Arsenal, Fulham. And then up front, got the Vardy against West Brom, Werner against Brighton, and Mitro against Arsenal. He's going to get an hat-trick.
Jesus, I didn't realise Fulham had Arsenal this game as well.
Exactly.
Oh.
See,
Exactly.
that for me is the worry.
The disrespect to Mitro, mate. He got 11 goals when he got relegated. Nice. Says it all, doesn't it?
To be fair, actually, I didn't realise it was that many.
That's not bad, that, yeah.
No.
And he didn't play one game. So
Yeah. I'll take that
should have been
back.
12. Should have been 12.
As well, yeah. He could have got an hat-trick, couldn't he, if he played that game?
Yeah, no, it's fair news.
11 goals in probably one of the worst Fulham teams has been.
Yeah, that's true.
In terms of how they play.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
Marcus.
Yeah, finally,
your little review.
the champion to be in goal.
Here we go.
The goalkeeper, got Kasper Schmeichel. Again, not going to be a long stayer. Just a couple of easy fixtures to start out, get me a few points to start us out with.
Get me a few points.
Defenders, again, same with James. I've got Vinagre. Again, I think that he's probably the better shout. I think he's the cheaper option to Cody as well. And he's got a bit more capabilities of getting the points. You've got to think as well, the bonus point system usually favours wing-backs over centre-backs. So, again, potential to get more points through that.
Yeah.
Again, with the wing-backs, Ryan Bertrand, as I said before, one of the best creative midfielders for the budget that he gives. And like I say, against Palace, who they had a torrid end to last season. So I'm hoping that they carry that on. And Ayew gets no goals, Bertrand gets a clean sheet and gets an assist. And then into the last
I was going
defender.
to rip him to pieces.
Into the last defender, again, controversially, Robertson over Trent Alexander. Again, that could change. Might be a change of the bench players to get that extra 0.5 million in. But it's going to be at least Robertson, if not Trent Alexander. But we'll go Robertson for the time being. After that, midfield, again, Harvey Barnes, for me, a little bit better than Maddison in regards to creative ability, potential for all that. But again, could be proved wrong. Maddison on his day can be different class. Captain, obviously James has got him, but not as captain, I don't think. We've got Salah. Against Leeds, opening game of the season, again, that can be a dodgy one. You never know how Leeds are going to be with all the commotion around them as a football club. I mean, there's potential for them to do something, but I think Salah will get a couple of goals there. Same with Dom, Heung-min Son. For me, I don't worry about Heung-min Son. I think assists, goals, he's got them in his locker, and especially against some of the teams that he comes up early against, Everton opening game, Southampton, Newcastle. I think again, there's at least a couple of goals, a couple of assists in that.
Definitely who I'm worried about most in your team. So
Son.
on his day, he could be. I think on his day, he could be getting double figures quite often. But it's for me, it's a consistency with him throughout the season. How long he plays for.
Yeah, I do know what you mean. But that's where I've got a trusty Phil Foden to come in off the bench instead of a Dale Stevens. Last midfielder in the squad.
For Dale Stevens scoring a hat-trick.
Last midfielder in the squad, similar to James, Saint-Maximin. I think, again, out of a Newcastle squad, he's their best player. Most attacking threat that they've got. I mean, you don't really have to worry about Joe Linton, do you? Dwight Gale, Andy Carroll, you can keep going on. Might as well go back to the days of Alan Shearer if you're going to try and get a goal from someone in them striker positions. I mean, Yoshinori Muto.
Jeff Hendrick, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, we'll wait to see how he's priced up at. You never know.
He pops up with a few goals, Hendrick, though. So, I bet he'll get a few.
There's no reason AC Milan were interested. But anyway, last three strikers. Calvert-Lewin, again, on his day, he can get a few goals. A few opportunities early on as well, unlike McBurney and Ayew. Werner, he's my vice-captain against Brighton. Again, you can't say anything bad about the lad. I mean, obviously he's not played in the Premier League yet, but from what we're looking at, from what we've seen in the Bundesliga and for Germany, he's a sure bet. And then you've got Danny Ings, again, hoping for him to follow on from last year, working in cahoots with Bertrand.
Yeah.
Fire me up that table. That's a
Next thing
team.
going on there, aren't you?
I like Danny Ings. I like that shout, to be fair. It's,
Yeah, I was close with Ings. A few of them not close with. I took out Calvert-Lewin as well. I was close with. But I went with Ollie McBurney instead.
15 goals a season, man.
He's getting 15 this season, so I put my neck on the line.
Yeah. Well, I can't wait to...
10 to 15, I think I'll go with. Yeah, I think.
Oh, here we go.
It's a big range.
Here we go. It's already becoming lower.
15. Well, between 5 and 15.
Yeah, I think you might bag a few. I'll stick with 15. Yeah, Matt Burney, 15 goals. We'll see what
Fair enough, man.
if people agree with me in the comments in that. But
Yeah,
yeah,
see where these teams are in the next couple of weeks.
I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, we'll have to have a review after.
Yeah,
Definitely.
definitely.
After a game, well, after the first game week, we'll have a quick review.
Do let us know in the
So
comments
it's
or on Twitter whose team is the strongest, in your opinion. I'd love to see how many votes Tom gets, actually.
I'll let my mum and dad know.
I was just going to say, I'll show you a bit of bribing there.
No 60 votes allowed, please.
Yeah, I'll let my mum and dad know. So at least I've got a few votes in the bag. I think my dad might say no. Actually, I'll turn it down as well when he sees my team.
I'm pretty sure Rodney and Millie might be getting a Twitter account at this rate.
Yeah, I might
Get
have
them
to
numbers up.
I might have met them one.
We'll put each other's teams up on the screen so you can have a little look as well in the video.
Yeah. Yep.
Right.
All right. So there you are. You've heard our teams. I think most part we got on quite well during that. There were a little tiff in between, weren't they? We James and Marcus, but no, we did. We did well. Cheers for coming on again, lads. So
No problem. Delighted.
Marcus, we'll see you again for another appearance next week, will we?
I don't mind that. I'm all up for that. Beautiful stuff.
Yeah. So cheers for that. And we'll see you next time. Trying to get a guest on for this week. Do our best. Obviously, said on Twitter last week, certain things, circumstances, we couldn't sadly publish the one we did. But it was one of those things. We can't do it about it. So yeah, we'll try again this week. But these definitely every Wednesday we've got these on. So yeah, all right. So we'll see you next time.
Okay. See you later.
See you later, buddy.